Hi, I'm Dave from boinaband.com, and on this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make a painful harsh lead synth for some really dirty electronica. I'll be teaching you about splitting audio signals with the Spider audio splitter, and also some of the principles of using dissonance to achieve painful sounds. This tutorial is not going to be for everyone. This is a painful synth for people who want to write painful music, so if you don't find disgusting sounds beautiful, chances are you're not going to really appreciate this. Okay, let's begin. I'll start by playing you the loop I've made. Okay, really kind of painful glitch hop loop there. And we'll be making this synth. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start by creating a combinator. Right click and create a combinator. Name it lead 2. And inside there we want to create a line mixer 6.2 and then an instance of create Thor polysonic synthesizer. Now right click and initialize the patch. I'll just copy across the notes so we've got something to work with. Here we are. Yep. And then I'll just solo this out so we can hear it as the synth builds up. Okay, so we have our basic synth right here. Now, we want to give it 3 multi-osc oscillators. There we go. And take one down an octave and one up 2 octaves. Remember to send them through with the 2 and 3 buttons here. Now, that will mean that we've got a nice meaty low end, but also a really piercing high end. Now, I've chosen the pulse wave here, the lowest one for all of these, just to make it even more piercing, and detune them all a bit, just to give it that thickness. But remember here, you can go a bit mental, depending on how painful you want your synth to be. Like, I'll show you here. Yeah, a massively detuned oscillator can add a huge amount of dissonant texture to the sound. And if you start with 2 oscillators that are relatively in-key, it'll still sound like the note you wanted, just more painful. But yeah, for now we're going to keep it relatively low, but if you want to go even more painful than what I'm discussing here, that's how you do it. Okay, turn the amp envelope sustain up to full so you don't lose any volume over time, and hit the chorus to widen the sound a bit. Take the dry wet down a bit so it's more punchy. Okay, now in the filter section, turn the resonance to about halfway, and then turn the filter frequency to a point just before it starts hurting your ears. Now, if you roll off the very high end, like there, then it'll make it more bearable to listen to. Well, I suppose you wouldn't be doing this tutorial if you weren't a little bit masochistic, so don't be afraid to push it a little bit higher if you want to. Remember though, the higher pitched it is, the harder it'll be to make it sit in the mix without bringing the volume down a load. Okay, lastly, here in Thor, turn the portamento on and turn it to about a quarter. And this will just make the notes slide between each other. Okay, now we're going to split the sound. So right click, create, and down the bottom, Spider Audio Merger and Splitter. And this is what you'll get. Now, hit the tab button to view the back, and I'll just hide this programmer for a second. Take these audio outputs from the Thor instance into the right hand side of the Spider Audio Merger and Splitter. This is the splitter side. Now, we want to split it into a clean signal and a distorted signal, which we'll take care of in a bit. Now just drag these from one of the 4 outputs, because they're all stereo, into one of the inputs on the back of the line 6-2 mixer. And now we've got our clean signal coming through. Okay, now for the painful signal. Hold Shift, right click, and create Screen 4 distortion unit. Now, holding Shift makes sure that it doesn't automatically connect to anything when it's created. Now, on the back panel, drag another output from the splitter into the input for the Screen 4 unit. Now I'll just right click and create in RV7000 Advanced Reverb as well. Take the dry wet right down to about a quarter and maybe turn the decay up a bit. And because it's high pitched, the decay is quite effective on the higher notes. And then send this through, the output, into our mixer. Okay, and there's our distorted signal, but we're going to turn that into something a little bit more melodic. Only a little bit though. So I'll solo that out so we can hear what it's going to sound like. Maybe turn that dry wet down a bit more. Okay, so that's the signal as it stands, but I'm going to turn the damage type to warp. Yeah, I'll turn the sharpness as P1 up to full, and the bias I'm going to take down to up to about half rather, and maybe turn the damage control down a bit so you can still just about hear the note in there. Okay, I'll cut out the low end, take the middle up to the middle, and increase the higher notches also. It's mostly the high end that you hear in there. In the body section, this is basically an amp simulator, so have a listen to all these different types. But I like that one, the E type, which is quite piercing. So I'm going to go with that. Now, here in the mixer, if we put the other signal back in, just unsolo that, you can hear both of them coming through together, but the distorted signal is a bit louder than the clean one, so we want to turn that down a bit. So the clean one is more prominent in order to get the note through, but the distortion makes up most of the tone. Okay, I'm also going to add a bit of delay. Right-click on the mixer, create, and DDL digital delay line, DDL1 digital delay line. Now, if we turn up the aux values to about half on these, and maybe turn down the aux value there so it's a little bit quieter, this just makes it feel big and epic, whilst also making it feel like a part of the song. Okay, so let's have a listen to how it sounds in the mix. Awesome. And there you have it. A synth more painful than Lady Gaga's fashion sense. Use it too much and it will surely alienate 99% of your potential fans, but you and that 1% know how frickin' awesome it is. If you found this tutorial useful, help me out by rating this video or posting a comment so other people can find it. And don't forget to check out my website, boyinaband.com. Have a nice day!